What's going on, everybody? Gilbert Blaze is back with his Wrestlemania 24 review. Now, first things first, I gotta admit to something. I was completely, utterly wrong. If you see my prediction video, you've seen how I was very blasé and just talking about how this was like a lackluster pay-per-view. And wow, was I wrong. And I am willing to admit it right now. I was wrong. This pay-per-view delivered on all levels, and was I surprised? Wow. So let's get started with the Belfast Brawl between JBL and Finley. I gotta say, I was kind of surprised to see this as the opener of WrestleMania, but it was a pretty decent match. It was what it was, a brawl. It had some hardcore spots in it. I was kind of surprised to see Hornswoggle come out with Finley. I didn't think that he would come out with him right away. I thought maybe he would be hiding underneath the ring, but that didn't happen. So he was pretty much a non-factor as well, so I was shocked by that. But JBL pretty much controlled both of them. I mean, I was shocked how easily he kind of beat them, both basically. I mean, clothesline from hell, 1, 2, 3 over. Finley was done. The best spot in the match was by far was when Finley went to go dive outside of JBL, and JBL caught him and hit him in the head. That was pretty cool. But other than that, this feud will continue up until the next pay-per-view. I was still shocked to see Finley lose. I had predicted Finley to win. He didn't. JBL won, so this feud will continue for like one more pay-per-view, and I think that's it. So on to the Money in the Bank. By far, this Money in the Bank match was better than last year's Money in the Bank match. It just delivered on all levels. Last year's Money in the Bank match I thought was very short, but it didn't flow well. This Money in the Bank match, it flowed very well. The spots was really coordinated. Every guy went to show up and to entertain, and they did their part basically, and it was very good. Carlito came very close. He had a good showing. Shelton Benjamin, as always, came very close. He had a good showing. He took a sick fall on the outside floor onto the ladder. I hope he's all right. John Morrison, great spot he did with a moonsault on the outside floor with the ladder. Excellent right there. I knew he was going to show up and play. Kennedy, I was kind of disappointed in him. He didn't really do much that stand out. He was like kind of, ordinary. MVP as well, he didn't do nothing much to stand out. But we got the return of Matt Hardy. Finally, after 5 months of being off the air, Matt Hardy has finally returned, and now they can continue this feud. Matt Hardy is long overdue for the U.S. title. Hopefully the next pay-per-view, he will finally get that U.S. title, damn it. I mean, it's been like a long time coming for this match to happen already, so great to see Matt Hardy back. I kind of thought maybe he was going to be in the match. He could have easily went up the ladder and got the briefcase if he wanted to. He should have done that. That would have been funny. But, big props to CM Punk. He won the match. I was kind of a little bit surprised. I thought Jericho was going to do it, but CM Punk came out of nowhere and did it. So congratulations to him. We'll see what happens, what he's going to do with it. I doubt he's going to go after Kane with the ECW title, so it's either Raw or SmackDown. But I'll talk more about that later on with the heavyweight title matches. So the next match was Batista versus Umaga. This match to me was a dud. I wasn't very impressed. Umaga came to fight. Batista came and was garbage. I mean, the thing with Batista is he has proven that if someone's in there that's really good and that knows how to carry him, they can carry him to a good match. Umaga is not the type of person that's going to carry someone to a good match. Even though Umaga is very good, he's not. I think he's still a little bit kind of green in terms of carrying people. So it wasn't a really good match. It didn't flow very well. People were saying how this might be the sleeper match of the night. It wasn't. I didn't like it. It was pretty boring to me. Batista out of nowhere came and just did the Batista bomb. And if you notice, he either slipped or he hurt his back while doing it. Sloppy endings. But yeah, Batista won. I wanted Umaga to win. But, the rumor has it that Umaga is going to get traded to SmackDown, feud with Batista a little bit more, and then go after the world title. More on that later. So, next match we have. Let me see. I don't want to jump over shit, but let's see. What's next? Oh, let's talk about the ECW Battle Royal real fast. I totally forgot that this was going to be on WWE.com, so I completely missed this. So when I found out Kane won, I predicted Kane would win. So I was like, yes, he has to win the title. And sure enough, that match was like, 5-10 seconds? Now, rumor had it that Chavo Guerrero was at the TNA Impact taping backstage, and supposedly WWE found out, so they punished him. So maybe this is why he got squashed completely. But either way, he's not the ECW champion no more, and I'm glad. I hope they don't have no feud, because this is a mismatch pairing Kane and Chavo, it won't be a good showing at all. So happy to see Kane with a heavyweight title. I don't think he's won a heavyweight title since 10 years ago, or almost 10 years ago. So glad for Kane to finally get a title. He's gonna finally be back on television weekly. We'll see what happens, who he's gonna feud with. I think Shelton Benjamin should challenge him for the title, because I think a few weeks ago on ECW they had a really good matchup. And did anyone watch that match? It was really good. And hopefully Shelton Benjamin will now step up to the plate and challenge Kane for the title. But yeah, big props to Kane. Finally, the Big Red Machine with a heavyweight title. More power to him. All right, now let me just talk about the Floyd Mayweather Big Show match. I want to just get that out the way really fast. I was entertained by this match. I will admit it. I had no expectations about it. I thought it was going to be garbage, but I was entertained. The match flowed well. It told a good story. I knew Mayweather was going to win, but some parts in me, I kept thinking to myself, wow, Big Show might have a chance here. Big Show might actually win here. The crowd was so loving Big Show. Mayweather was a total heel. It was obvious that the people around him, Mayweather's posse, some of them had to have been developmental wrestlers or independent wrestlers, because they were taking chops and choke slams, and regular people just can't do that. So that was pretty good there. Him using the brass knuckles, I was like, damn, come on, man. I guess that would knock Big Show out in real life, because it's brass knuckles, and Floyd Mayweather does hit hard. But man, that match was all wrong, the ending. They should have had Big Show win. The crowd wanted to see Big Show win, and they didn't deliver. But for what it's worth, it did entertain, and Mayweather was pretty decent. So now hopefully he can go and fight Oscar De La Hoya and get the hell out of WWE. Good riddance to you. All right, now on to the Bunnies Mania tag team match. Another surprise for me. I thought this would be utter garbage, and it kind of delivered. I think the wrestling in this match was way better than the wrestling that happened last year with Melina versus Ashley. Maria actually did pretty decent, and I was shocked. And the lights went out during this match, and to the girls' credit, they still kept going nothing happened. They kept doing their moves, so more power to them. The light situation was pretty funny, because at first I was like, oh shit, the production value sucks. But then after a while I was like, wow, this is pretty good. I like it like this. It was pretty decent. They got the power back on, and it was pretty good. But yeah, the match was a comedy match for what it was worth. Santino Marella was brilliant as usual with his comedy stick. King got involved, the girls got involved, Snoop Dogg. I didn't understand the kiss with Maria, but I guess it played into that where, he was she was a damsel in distress, so to speak, and he came to her rescue. So that was pretty good. It was what it was. Happy for Beth to get the victory. Yes, Beth Phoenix, and Melina is now 2-0 at Wrestlemania, so go Melina.